Coach Bricks back with you. Another subject I like to speak on is burnout. There's a couple different types of burnouts. You could be physically burnout, hard workout, not enough recovery time. What I really want to speak on is the mental burnout. All right, how you become mentally burnout. And I think it's happening more and more society. I know I go through it. Running my own business, keeping up with the 2 kids I got, my wife, everything else that goes on in life. And, this is a big topic because, going through it right now, that mental burnout where, you have your ups and downs. I know people who have gone through it probably have worse than me, no question about it. But, seeing these different phases that you go through, these different extremes from, being fine, okay, to snapping, to being irritable, not enough sleep. A lot of these things, stuff racing through your mind. And how do you get through it? I think that's the toughest thing to do because, if it was that easy, we could take a pill, snap our fingers, boom, we're back to normal. But it's not. But I think burnout's a real thing, especially the mental part of it. I know when I was in college, I went through that physical aspect of it where I burnt myself out, lifting sometimes crazy, ridiculous, 2 hours. Nobody ever taught me how to lift back in the day. I just went out and did it, 2 hours in the morning, afternoon, and then again in the evening. So I was a little crazy, nuts with that part of it, the training aspect of it. Like I said, nobody ever taught me that part. I eventually burned out there. But the mental aspect, I think, could be a little bit worse. I know that physical part went into some of that mental, but the mental can definitely be worse in the sense of just the ups and downs that you go through. Just like I said, the highs and the lows, but the crankiness, the irritability, snapping, things that used to make you happy don't make you happy anymore. You just don't want to do them anymore. Nothing. It almost seems like nothing. And I know there's a lot of people out there like that. We're living in a society that's so fast-paced, so technology-driven, and I think, at least from my aspect of it, finding that peace and joy, whatever that is, looking back on, things that make you happy. My wife, my 2 kids are definitely the things that make me happy, but I felt like when I'm going through the mental burnout, that even I would get mad and irritable with them. And that's not right. Nothing like that's ever correct. Other people who've never made you, irritable or something, who've done anything to you, it's not their fault. So we got to learn how to deal with that mental aspect, at least myself, deal with that mental aspect, but then continue, to improve and get out of that phase. It's not easy. People who've never been to that mental burnout really can't understand. But the people who are there or have been there, no. You know what I mean? It just sucks. But I think if we can find that positive aspect, at least that's what I'm doing, is finding that positive aspect in life, the stuff that makes me the most happy. Because even that, at one point, during the mental burnout phase, didn't even make me happy. The stuff that I love to do did make me happy. I just didn't want to do it anymore. But, thinking back, looking at some old videos that I had from 10, 15 years ago, some of the training things that I did, some of the things that I did with the athletes, and then looking back on just my kids, growing up, especially my oldest daughter who's 4 years old, looking back when she was 2 years old, 1 years old, learning how to walk, thinking of those things when she was up here in the gym with me. She'd come up with me and we would just have a good time up here. She'd run some ladders, do some different things here. She is like 1.5. Just want to do those things. And me looking back on it and say, that's what it's all about. Enjoying that time with your family, enjoying that time of doing what you feel that you can do and makes you happy. That's what you got to find again, that joy inside. So I do believe the mental burnout's real. I know some people out there would disagree, but it's definitely real. Trust me, I'm still trying to fight through it, but continuing to understand that, hey, listen, I know there's light at the end of the tunnel. No matter how bad it looks at one point, you just got to find that happy place or that peace that you can find inside you. All right, so keep pushing, keep driving, keep doing what you got to do, all right? Because don't let this stop you. I stress to my athletes, hey, listen, there's no reason for failure. If you fail, you get back up and you keep going. Same thing with the mental burnout. Don't stop. Keep getting that, keep finding that positive aspect of life and keep driving yourself forward. No matter how many times you get knocked down, because you're going to get knocked down, don't let it stop you. find what made you happy, rekindle that fire again, or find something else maybe. Now it's sometimes to move on to something else, and then continue to push forward. All right? Don't let mental burnout, don't let it stop you. Don't make you give up on what you really want to accomplish, your dreams, because trust me, you will be beaten down. People will talk about you, smear your name, whatever they do. It doesn't matter. You got to stay that positive person, because you know when you go to bed, you can look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I did everything I could to be a better person today. A lot of people out there that can't. You know, they get all nice in front of the cameras, but when it comes time to it, they're not really doing what they're supposed to do. You know, I call them the hypocrites of the world. They say one thing and go do something else. All right? Don't be that person. Stay positive. Stay true to your beliefs. And trust me, in the end, it's going to be all worth it. All right, remember, continue to push, continue to work hard, and greatness never rests.